Hello and welcome to another episode of the Good Boxing Podcast with your host Josh Size, and I'm gonna jump right into this episode. I want to say that I think it's time to be a little more harsh on the resume of Inoue, the monster touted as one of the pound for pound champions in the world. I think at one point he was number 3 or number 2, even over Terrence Crawford. However, in my opinion, I think it's time to look at this resume and realize that Inoue has to challenge himself, or we have to start dropping this guy off of the pound for pound list. He has skills, has talent, knocks everyone out. But when you look at his resume, having a war with Nonito Donaire, who was arguably your best opponent in the ring, to me doesn't warrant you to be a pound for pound champion. You're not better than Terrence Crawford. You're not better than Errol Spence. You're not better than Tyson Fury. You're not better than Josh Taylor. You're not better than arguably even George Gambosos. I think at this point, go fight Casemiro, who's someone in the division that you need to handle. I understand that Japan recently just shut down the border. However, this fight was made before Japan shut down everything. And he's fighting, let me get the name right. Aran Dipson, somebody that's 12-2, been knocked out before. I'm sorry, lost 2 times. Never been knocked out, but someone smaller in stature. I don't think he can really be a test to Inoue. And that's my problem. Everyone bloviates about Inoue. You see the skills, you see, flashes. Yeah, the knockdown against the Marinas with the body shot was phenomenal. And I'm not going to sit here and say he's a bum, but at a certain point, you have to keep the same energy. Terrence Crawford got killed in the media and on the pound for pound list because at 147, he didn't challenge himself. So everyone kept jumping over him, even Inoue. And for what? You beat Donaire? Donaire hasn't been in his prime since he fought Rigo aeons ago at the Garden. I think Donaire is a great fighter, but when you have someone that's clearly past his prime as a champion, that shows that the division is weak. And that's not his fault. I understand that 100%. But if you're going to call yourself the monster, if you're going to call yourself a pound for pound champion, in my opinion, you got to step up. And I need to see the Casemiro fight. I don't need to see the Donaire fight. I know they're trying to set it up again. It was a great fight one time. I just think Inoue kills him in a rematch. I think Inoue is the younger, fresher, more talented fighter. I think Donaire had his moment where he stepped up and reached far and beyond and kind of tapped into that previous form for a few minutes, but that's part of being past your prime. You can't keep doing that. And again, if you look at the evidence in front of you, Inoue has a lot that he needs to handle before I can have him at the pound for pound pinnacle. I think he needs to fight Casemiro to unify. I guess you fight Donaire. I want to see those plans in place. I'm tired of talking about, Inoue, the monster, the monster. Top rank is top rank, but these fights need to happen. And until he beats Casemiro, who honestly, I know people think that Inoue is going to eat Casemiro, but Casemiro is not afraid of him. And Casemiro has a chin. Rigo threw some shots, and Rigo has power at the weight that they're at. Casemiro could take a punch. And I think with his offensive proficiency, Donaire, who was past his prime, gave issues to Casemiro. Casemiro is a volume puncher. Casemiro is awkward. Casemiro has very good training in Jorge Capetillo. I don't think that Inoue is the monster that everyone thinks. And when you see him against in his prime, very talented fighter who doesn't give a fuck, I think he's going to get exposed. If he beats Casemiro, fine, no problem. You handle your business. Fight Donaire, become undisputed. At that point, you need to move up and fight one of the guys at 122. Clearly, you have power, clearly, you have boxing skills. But when you want to be a pound for pound great, you have to challenge yourself. And at this point, I'm not seeing it from Inoue. I don't know if it's his promotion. I don't know if they're trying to move him along slowly. I am not sure what Top Rank has plans for. Maybe it's a promotional issue, and that may be the case. But selfishly, I want to see Inoue step up to Stephen Fulton or Akhmedov. Those two are going to fight. One of them is going to be undisputed. And truthfully, if he moves up to 122, Stephen Fulton easily beats Inoue. No way Inoue is going to beat Stephen Fulton. He's a stylistic matchup nightmare. I think he moves well. I think his defense is. Come on. Figueroa, say what you want. He was a little raw and crass, but he has power. He's big for that weight. Inoue is not going to hit harder than Figueroa. I think Fulton would school him. And truthfully, Akhmedov, say what you want about him, but that pedigree he has, he can box his ass off, has power. He's big, strong. Remember, these guys are much bigger than Inoue. And I think that would pose a problem. And, Inoue moves up, shuts me up. Then you can validate his status as pound for pound. But right now, the monster, your highlights are against guys that one are past their prime or just not on the same level as you. And again, that's not an indictment of him, but it is an indictment of his placement on the pound for pound. Move up, show what you can do. Canelo is number one for a reason. Has he fought killer after killer? Sometimes it looks like a cherry pick, right? Some people say he likes to cherry pick and move up and down, but he is challenging himself on paper. He's changing weight divisions. He's beating whoever's in front of him. But it's not, hey, I'm going to stay at 118, fight Donaire 2 times when Donaire was already past his prime a few years ago when they fought. And you're not taking on Casemiro for whatever reason. You're not even, truthfully, the undisputed champion in your weight class. You're a big fish in a small pond, and you're not even the biggest fish. Undisputed would change that, or at least have 3, and then there's a promotional issue, or you don't want to fight Donaire, or Donaire retires, then you can move on. But right now, fighting this guy in Japan that you're going to fight Dipson, you're going to have another highlight reel performance. Fine, make your money, do what you got to do, but we got to degrade Inoue from the pound for pound list because there's guys out there challenging themselves. You have guys like Gervonta Tank Davis who fought Isaac Cruz. Like, people didn't know about Isaac Cruz, but Isaac Cruz is a fucking dog, and Gervonta with the hurt hand handled him. Won, in my opinion, pretty soundly. 7-5 clear. Even Devin Haney, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that because JoJo is a big 130 pounder, but even George Gambosos fought his ass off, fought Teofimo Lopez. Like, you're fighting a guy that was an undisputed young lion. And then you got Inoue fighting fucking Dipson. Come on. And then DeMarinis. And then his gold star fight is fighting Donaire. Shit just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand the pound for pound list sometimes. And, people are so fair weather and don't keep the same energy with what's going on in boxing. So to me, I hope Inoue has a very good performance against Dipson, because if he looks even remotely human, I think you just got to drop the guy down. I just see way bigger names that should be above him. I don't think he'll pass Usyk. I don't think he'll pass Canelo. I don't think, for damn sure, he shouldn't pass Terrence Crawford after what he did to Sean Porter. And I'm assuming he's going to fight someone else. I personally don't think he should be even beyond George Gambosos, who is undisputed champion. I don't think he should be past Josh Taylor, who fought nothing but fucking killers, right, to get his undisputed championship. I mean, look at his resume. He fought Regis Prograis. He fought Jose Ramirez. He fought Baranchik. He fought the best of the damn best. And Errol Spence, another guy who came back and fought Danny Garcia, right? Errol Spence stays at 147, but he's fighting the best at 147. Um, that's pretty much all I have to say. And I think it's time to just make these guys earn their pound for pound status. I think Top Rank does control the ESPN narrative, in my opinion. I think, truthfully, even I know it's not popular, but even Lomachenko, in terms of pound for pound, shouldn't be below Inoue. I mean, he fought Teofimo, lost to Teofimo. He destroyed Nakatani. He's fighting Richard Comey. I yeah, I just don't I don't I don't know why this guy is so high. I just got to see something. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a scrub. Again, he's very talented, but again, the same way you put Terrence Crawford's name through the mud, it's time to start putting Inoue's ass to the fire to fight people, because this isn't it. Dipson, De Marinas, Donaire, that's not, to me, pound for pound. Hey, I'm the best in the world. That's not testing yourself. Fight Casemiro, fight Donaire, become undisputed. Do something for me, because right now I'm not seeing it. So that's the episode for today. Let me know what you guys think. My prediction for his fight, he's going to probably knock this kid out. He's never been knocked out before. But if he looks bad, it's time to start just being honest about the monster. I think there's guys out there that can beat this kid, and it's time he gets put in with the real ones. Casemiro is going to show that, in my opinion. And if he goes up and fights Stephen Fulton, that's a mistake, because Fulton, in my opinion, is going to beat Akhmedov. But I still think Akhmedov is going to beat the monster. I just don't see anything that is going to give Stephen Fulton problems. Power, okay. Boxing ability, you think, come on, you think this kid boxes better than Stephen Fulton? You're crazy.